Los Angeles, they talk about like Los Angeles totems and whatnot. And they're like checking off each of them that like once you get to the end of like that list, you're like a true Los Angeles, person.
Native, yeah.
So then I started making a list on my notes for like Chicago totems.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. And we were thinking of ones. Did we ever come up with Houston? There's like.
Well, we were trying to do Houston totems, but then a lot of the Houston totems end up being like Texan totems.
Yeah.
Well, no. What's the one? The Santa Claus.
Oh, Pancho Claus.
Pancho Claus.
But that might be a Houston
Swingers.
totem. That what?
Swingers?
Oh, swangers. I was
Swangers,
like swingers.
sorry.
Like,
Swangers.
I know.
I was like, that is not
my
a
bad.
Houston
Sorry,
totem.
I'm not. Obviously, I'm not
Like
from
that,
Texas.
That might be a nationwide thing. Actually, no, swangers. The cars. The rims on the cars. The spoke rims.
Yeah.
Pancho Claus is probably just on the east side because you don't know what Pancho Claus is, right? So Pancho Claus, where I grew up here in Second Ward, and on the east side there was I think it's a nonprofit organization. I'm not sure, but essentially, on December 25th, whenever people are opening the presents, Pancho Claus is a man with his posse. And they're all riding lowriders. Every single one of them is on lowriders, and they're cruising through the streets of Second Ward, and they're just like bouncing. They're just like bouncing through the streets, and they're handing out toys.
That is so fun.
To all the like inner city East End kids that like, but and to be fair, like as a native Second Ward resident, like there were times where I didn't have Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So like Pancho Claus was a big deal because like I would wake up and moms would be like, Pancho Claus is coming. And Pancho Claus is outside. And we would go outside and it would literally just be like a parade. Like a parade, just like nonstop, like
awesome.
like neon green lowrider trucks, all crooked and stuff. And then you would eventually see Pancho Claus in his suit. So there was just a whole bunch of Mexican guys in suits and fedoras and like ties, like handing out like toy guns and water guns and like race cars and like cheap toys, like nothing like crazy. But like we would go outside, I'd be like, "Can I get one for me and my sister? Can I go over me?" And then we would just be outside, and we would it would be a thing. Everybody in the neighborhood would come outside, and all the kids would go out and like go onto the street and like ask for like a toy or whatever. I don't know how it works in terms of like the legality of it all, like the nonprofit side of it, or if it's legit or if it's just like a whatever,
random
like
people doing
right.
it.
Like, I don't know how that works, but Pancho Claus is like legit.
That's pretty cool.
And this past Christmas, her and I were gonna make dinner because we didn't have any legitimate Christmas plans, and we rode by here and we saw them the day before Christmas Day.
Prepping up.
On Christmas Eve, we saw them all like line up and like kind of like talk about like what I guess they were talking about what they were gonna do the next morning or whatever. And she was all like, "Oh, it's real." I'm like, "Oh, it 100% is real." Like they used to be. I have like very fond memories of like the feeling of like, like Pancho Claus is outside. Like
that sounds awesome.
Fuck it up, yeah. So I argued for a moment that Pancho Claus was a Houston totem, but then I don't think it is because
I don't think it's
I guess the be someone sign maybe is like a totem,
or like taking like prom pictures at the water fountain
in Herman Park
totem
or something like that, or at the Galleria, like the waterfall,
the
whatever.
Waterfall
Here,
thing.
you want to hear the Chicago totems I came up with? I'm realizing now some of them are probably just like northerner totems, and I'll explain that, but. Yeah. One of them, so like Bucket Boys.
Yankee totems.
I don't know.
No, shut the fuck up. We're not the Yankees. We are not the Yankees.
Yankee totems.
Don't start.
What are you, the Bears?
So, well, the Bears is our football team.
Oh,
but we have
I
two.
That as a joke.
So
I'm kind of mad that I
you got it right on the money. Red Sox.
We have two. The Red Sox.
Or what is it?
We have two. Look, we have two baseball teams.
New Girl, and Nick Miller is from Chicago, and he goes for the Bears so fucking hard.
That's a football team. We have two baseball teams, and it cuts up. No, not the Red Sox.
The White Sox
and the Cubs. The Red Sox are somewhere on the east, the northeast.
Oh, the
or I think are they St. Louis? No, that's the Cardinals
and the Cubs.
And the Cubs. So and we're but look, it was very split up because if you're a Cubs fan, you're most likely from the north part of Chicago, which is more like the rich white people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the White Sox are from the south side.
Right.
Anyways, yeah. So
gang.
It cuts up our city. But okay, so Bucket Boys.
What is that?
Bucket Boys, the guys that like they'll pull out a bucket, just a random ass bucket, flip it upside down, and like play the drums on them.
Yeah.
And they'll like do that for money. So when you're stopped at a red light, you'll see them all the time. Where they'll pull up and they'll like come out and like play songs, and then they'll flip the bucket over and walk around and try to like ask for tips and stuff. You know. So that's one of them. This is one that I'm like, I think this is just a northerner, like anybody that lives where it snows. Dibs. So Dibs up in the north.
I don't know what that is.
Anytime it's snowing out, we'll like shovel out a space in front of like our house, our apartment, whatever. That's like, you know, for us to park. But then you put random ass objects in the street to call dibs on that spot. So like if I shoveled out a space for me, I'm gonna put some random ass like fold out chairs or something in that spot and be like, don't take my shit. I'm calling dibs on this. This is my place to park.
Oh, so that's like a practice.
Yeah.
It's like a practice for like people to understand that like you've done the work of shoveling the snow, so that belongs to you.
And if you disrespect that's
damn. You'll have to be a real fucking asshole to be like, damn, somebody else shovel this up. I'm gonna take this spot.
What's the Houston version of that? Is there a Houston version of like being that kind of an asshole? No,
Houstons would be the assholes to take the spot.
But like there's no shoveling here. There's no, you know, it's like you just find your space. You don't have to
Houston
make
equivalent
space.
Of that is that people would rather let you die than let you
merge. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's merging specifically. Merging
but no,
or changing. Like, people here drive crazy, but something about merging lanes just whoops Houstonians
at the
in the
very
fucking
end,
ass.
at the very, like, right when you can't merge anymore, and they're like, let me just merge real quick.
Have to. Like, there's no fucking like, we're both about to get into a fucking car accident, and there's so much fucking traffic, and we're on 610, and this can't fucking happen. It's gonna ruin everyone's day.
And the little old lady's like, I don't know what to tell you.
I know.
And you're like, what do you mean? Press the fucking brake.
I have a very such a specific view on like merging versus like changing lanes. So merging lanes. I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah,
so if it's merging, like you're supposed to use that lane to merge. So you're supposed to go all the way up in the lane to merge. It's actually proven that you cause more traffic if you don't use that full lane. But
like the merging lane.
Yes, a merging lane.
Yeah.
But let's say I very specifically coming off of 288.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Going to 45.
Oh, I don't.
Getting on to 45, there's like two different exits. So it splits 45 north, 45 south. 45 north is always so fucking backed up. But so 45 south is always like open to drive.
Yes.
But 45 south's exit starts to get backed up because people get into 45 south and drive all the way up to the front and then try to cut into 45 north. Yes. If I'm in the 45 north, I will purposely be in the right-hand lane of the 45 north exit in order to not allow people to get in, because I am so passionate about the fact that you're a fucking asshole. If I am going 45 south, I will purposely be in the left-hand lane where people are going to cut over just so I can fucking honk at them and tell them that they're assholes for trying to be there and cause traffic. It makes me so mad. I get so upset.
She's real passionate about that. And I'm such a lenient driver. Like, I don't care.
Oh, that's
But
crazy.
That's the thing.
No, because here's the thing. I will do that. You know where I do that? I thought you were going to... It's the same highway, but on the opposite way. So I'm coming like 45 south to where it splits like 288 and 59. And you know, you go to 59 and there's always some fucking asshole on 288 trying to get on 59 at the very last. And we are both dying here.
Yes.
I will not. Because you had miles to change fucking... I don't have to let you over. I'm on my fucking lane. This lane goes to 59. That lane goes to 288. And it's not my fucking problem if you don't make it home. I will not let you fucking go. And they look at me like, you're not going to let me merge? No. I'm not. Be mad, bitch.
And
mad.
But that's one thing that I realized when I came down here to Texas. Y'all have Southern hospitality, but y'all also have it when you drive. There will always be a person that will let that person in, which I hate. In Chicago, we fucking stand together. And we do not let people in.
That's why
we are all on each other's ass.
That's what I like about the North.
Always.
Like, I understand the Southern hospitality.